In the heart of the battlefield, as armored vehicles close in on Ukrainian positions, a fierce struggle unfolds, breathtaking tactics, precision strikes, and the true meaning of resilience. Witness the incredible interplay of drones, javelin missiles, and relentless artillery as both sides fight for control. Showcasing the future of combat in modern warfare, armored vehicles from the Russian Federation are advancing to launch an offensive. They are nearing Ukrainian defensive positions. The trenches are alarmingly close. The Ukrainian defenders anticipate the impending assault music. This incursion involves a pair of tanks and armored personnel carrier, and an MTLB laden with ammunition. Simultaneously, two Russian artillery pieces are bombarding Ukrainian fortifications from afar. Music, one of the leading tanks deploys a tactical smoke screen. Concurrently, Ukrainian forces are readying a javelin missile system. The attacking column continues its advance, unleashing fire upon the Ukrainian lines. The Ukrainians respond with their own suppressive fire. The javelin missile connects with its intended target. The formation immediately stops after the impact. The vehicle's occupants react swiftly, scrambling towards the MTLB in error with dire consequences. A Ukrainian combatant is already poised to fire. Follow-up missile. It strikes directly. Unmanned aerial vehicle operators receive directives to initiate engagement. The drones proceed towards their designated targets. A Ukrainian main battle tank enters the engagement from a considerable range. It commences firing upon that segment of the advancing force. Another successful strike. The offensive appears to lose momentum, yet the accompanying infantry remains at significant risk. A Russian tank maintains suppressive fire from a distance. Its rounds impact nearby, but the primary danger originates from closer proximity. In addition to the barrages, the Russians dispatch a drone towards the Ukrainian tree lines. Music. The Ukrainian units detect it just in the nick of time and open fire abruptly. One of the soldiers' assault rifles experiences a malfunction. Both cluster munitions and drones are now being deployed. An unmanned aircraft deploys an ordnance package onto an APC. A first-person view drone impacts a tank. The APC ignites, and the fire reaches its onboard ammunition. Let's review that sequence. A tremendous detonation pulverizes the APC. Another aerial bomber proceeds towards its objective. The drone delivers an explosive charge directly onto the tanker's top surface. The strike triggers the smoke discharge system. The entire assault has been utterly repelled. Another element of the armored column advances towards the Ukrainian defenders, consisting of a Russian tank and an APC. Ukrainian unmanned aircraft operators assume their positions. Russian ground forces dismount from a second armored personnel carrier. A solitary drone impact immobilizes one of the vehicles. Meanwhile, enemy infantry approaches the edge of the tree line where Ukrainian combatants are situated. Ukrainian soldier steps forward, making it unequivocally clear that surrender without resistance is not an option. The tank persists in its attack. The subsequent projectile fails to penetrate its robust armor. Several additional impacts also prove ineffectual. Multiple operators exert maximum effort to prevent the Russian tank from advancing further, but their attempts prove unsuccessful. Ukrainian forward observers meticulously track the enemy troops. There they are. Ukrainians respond with gunfire. The commanding officer instructs the soldiers to listen attentively and fire whenever an opportunity arises. They execute these orders precisely. The tank reaches the tree line, becoming an accessible target. A drone punctures its armor. Flames consume the tank. The APC in turn has already been reduced to a charred husk of metal. A Ukrainian soldier devises a tactical maneuver, stating that he only requires suppressive fire. His comrades provide the necessary support. Subsequently, they replicate this same tactic, and artillery shell impacts extremely close to the Russian positions. Concurrently, the final armored fighting vehicle is sighted. A Rakushka APC, a drone, strikes it directly, yet it continues to move. It perseveres, appearing unstoppable. However, a hit to its track brings the vehicle to a halt. The subsequent drone then flies straight inside. An exemplary performance. The intensity escalates, and a Ukrainian soldier hurls multiple grenades. Another provides covering fire. Reconnaissance confirms the successful deployment. Superb execution. Music. The following day, a fresh offensive commences. Two APCs proceed along the road. Ukrainian unmanned aerial vehicle pilots arrive at their designated vantage point. This location offers an ideal position for intercepting the adversary. The defensive trenches are concealed beneath dense vegetation. A soldier prepares the initial drone for its engagement. The two armored personnel carriers are now in close proximity. The first drone is ready and launches to confront the enemy. It achieves the first direct hit. That APC then detonates a landmine. A third APC arrives on the scene there. It is right there. Music. A Ukrainian drone also impacts that. One smoke plumes are now visible. One more precise strike concludes the attack. All three APCs are now engulfed in flames. The drones have effectively halted the enemy's advance. This specific assault has failed, but it is not the sole one in this operational sector. These are the repercussions of yet another offensive. Burning armor no longer appears intimidating. The drones deliver finishing blows to ensure these carbonized metal remnants pose no further threat. As you may have observed, we strive to produce every video with the highest possible quality, incorporating detailed graphics, immersive sound design, and unique narratives. We sincerely hope you find our videos engaging. Now let us shift our focus to a different direction. This represents another offensive where The Javelin played a pivotal role. Ukrainian forces react with speed, deploying drones. Artillery units are also prepared to engage. The artillery initiates the first action immediately following a drone strike occurs. Let's observe from an alternative perspective here. We can see that the lead tank in the column has sustained a hit. Nevertheless, the column advances confidently. Its progress must be arrested. A Ukrainian soldier emerges from the foliage and fires a javelin. The missile strikes the target with pinpoint accuracy. The tank is now damaged, but continues its movement down the road alongside another armored vehicle. The Russians stop. Evidently, the damage was critical. A drone strike prevents them from evacuating their crew. The APC attempts to escape, abandoning its soldiers. This proved to be a fatal miscalculation. A colossal explosion annihilates that vehicle. Let's review that sequence here. The assault persists. Observe this armored personnel carrier manages to reach its intended destination. But here's what transpires next. A potent explosion rips the vehicle apart, transforming it into a fiery inferno with towering plumes of black smoke. The conflagration rages on, consuming what remains of the armored vehicle. Next, the responsibility falls to the drones. One strike disables the APC. Subsequently, it is immediately neutralized. Here approaches the next target. A drone halts a Russian APC. The intensity of the conflict continued into the following day. Ukrainian artillery teams notified of a new mission, they stand ready to engage. Here we witness Russian armored vehicles drawing increasingly nearer. However, a precise artillery strike then detonates the target along with its onboard ammunition. Let's observe that once more. Here the APC is obliterated, and several others incur damage. One of them is targeted by drones for a decisive final blow. This tank also succumbs to Ukrainian artillery fire. It has been damaged by shrapnel and is reduced to ashes. Witness what remains after this impact. The fire reaches the ammunition, creating a spectacular pyrotechnic display. This time the Russians are also attacking from multiple directions. A Ukrainian drone identifies a BMP-2 and achieves a direct hit. We then observe an APC brought to a standstill, obstructing the vehicle behind it. Apparently the terrain was mined, and the Russians were unwilling to take the risk. The next target for the Ukrainian drone is this tank. It's a direct hit. A Russian APC is spotted in the vicinity from the attacking drone's camera. It is visible that it is already being shelled by Ukrainian artillery. The drone delivers a precise strike, and the APC attempts to flee. The smoking APC nearly escapes, but an anti-tank guided missile is already closing in. A massive explosion tears the APC into fragments. Truly exceptional tactical work. What surprised you the most in this battle? Share your thoughts in the comments.